Hi, boys and girls, and welcome to our math lesson today. Before we begin, I would like you to double check your materials that you need. You will need your math textbook, a whiteboard with a marker, your two-sided flat counters. They're either the purple and teal color or the yellow and red, okay? And you will also need this, which is our work mat number 3, which is our part whole. I know we haven't used that for a while. If you didn't tear it out from the back of your math book, it should still be there. If you did, I hope you saved it. If by some chance it got misplaced, not a problem. Take a piece of paper and you can draw one for yourself. So either way, we can work it out. Okay, so let's get started here. I wish I had like my detective hat and magnifying glass because today we're going to kind of be like a little bit of a math detective. We're going to look for missing addends. So if you remember, addends are the numbers in an addition math sentence that are added together to get the sum. So we are going to look for missing ones today. So I'm kind of excited about that. It's always fun to kind of put a fun spin on things. And as a reminder, our essential question for chapter 4 is what strategies can I use to subtract? Okay, so once again, a strategy is a way of figuring something out. All right, so let's get started with our first warm up here. And this is probably a good place for you to have your whiteboard ready. Okay, so if you need your whiteboard, I suggest you pause this video and get it now and then come back. Okay, so for our uh, practice here, they want us to write the fact family that you can make with the numbers. So, excuse me, as we did yesterday, we learned that a fact family uses the same 3 numbers. When I want you to I'm going to ask you a question or say something, and I want you to turn to somebody and tell them. When you have 3 different numbers, how many math sentences in total can you make for a fact family? Tell someone now. How many? Yes, 4. Good job. When the numbers are different, 3 different numbers, you can make 4 math sentences. Okay, so let's look at this now. And so I like to start, when they put the numbers like this, I like to begin with the first one. And remember when I said yesterday, when you're doing a fact family, I suggest, so you don't miss anything, always start with your addition. So since we know there's 4, there's going to be 2 addition, okay? 2 addition sentences in this. So the first one will be 9 plus 6 equals 15. Now notice I didn't have to stop and use counters. I just made sure I used the 3 numbers in the math sentence that are posted here. Okay, so excuse me. So what I would like you to do is pause the video and write the next addition number sentence that we should have using these numbers. Pause now. Okay, did you do this one? Let's check. 6, check your work, plus 9 equals, and what did that's right, I heard some of you say 15. Okay, so we have done 2 addition number sentences. That leaves two more. We've already turned around the two addends. So now we have to do subtraction. Who remembers what number we start with in a subtraction number sentence? Say it out loud now. That's right, 15. Okay. Now, we've already done two additions, so now we're going to do, that's right, subtraction. All right. And again, it doesn't matter which one we start with, but again, I'm going to start with this one, all right, with 9. And what is the difference? Correct, 6. Very good. And now you're going to do the next subtraction one. You subtracted 9. Remember, subtraction, you always keep the first number the same, the largest number. Okay? Always think, if I have 6 friends, can I give them 15 cookies? Of course not. So that's the same idea. Always begin with the largest number. Okay, so now we're going to subtract 6, and you get the difference. Whoops, typo, 9. Okay, very good. Now, let's look here. 16, 8, and 8. All right, let's try doing, all right, our math sentences here for our fact family. And again, addition. That's right, 8 plus 8 equals 16. Oop, I touched something wrong. All right, excuse me. Equals 16. Okay, now, can I make a different addition number sentence? Why not? That's right, because it's a double. So it doesn't matter if I take turns with the other 8, it's still 8 plus 8. Okay? So that means we're done with our addition number sentences, and now we're going to do subtraction. So subtract, we begin with 16 minus 8, and what is the difference? That's right, 8. Now I want you to look at this carefully. What do you notice about this fact family with doubles when you have two addends the same? How many can we make that are different? That's right, 2. Okay, so when you have 3 different numbers, you can make 4 math sentences in a fact family, 2 addition, 2 subtraction. But when you have doubles of an addend, you can only make 2 different math sentences. All right, good job. Okay, now we'll practice this more. All right. Okay, so let's move on to our next. We're going to further investigate, okay? And it says, how can you subtract to find missing addends? Well, right up here, let's go over what missing addends means. To do that, we'll break it apart. First, what does missing mean? All right, so we're not going to use the same word. What does missing mean? Well, it's missing. Well, you try not to use the same word to tell somebody what missing means. Missing means it's gone or lost, okay? It could be anything. It doesn't have to just be math number. It could be anything. How many times do you tell your parents, oh, I'm missing my shoe? And your mom or dad will say, well, look under your bed, and you find it, right? You know that's happened to you. Okay, so something is gone or lost. Now, an addend. Tell somebody what an addend is. And if you don't remember, that's fine. Just wait and think about it. It has the word add in it. That's a clue. Detectives always look for clues. An addend is a number added to another in an addition number sentence. Okay, so now we want to know. We have a missing addend here. 6 plus blank equals 11. Well, if you recall, a couple lessons ago, we were starting to show how addition and subtraction were related, right? So here we go. Here's an addition number sentence with a missing addend. So the opposite okay, of addition is subtraction. So if you know that 11 minus 6 equals 5, can we find the missing number for this? Yes. So what is that missing number? What is that? That's right. The missing addend is 5. Not as pretty as the typing. But yes, it's 5. Okay? So there you go. Very good. All right, now let us look at, you can, at this point, you can take, let me move myself over here. You can open your book to page 325, okay? And 325 shows this very pretty butterfly. And here you go, there's a part whole chart right there. But what I've done is I've drawn one ahead of time right here because I want to be able to show this to you. So if you would like, take your part whole paper. Actually, you could have it to the side, or you could just use the butterfly, okay? But for this, I'm going to read it for you. It says, oh, look at that, the butterfly in the corner. 1, 2, 3, I'm spot free. Okay, this one, we're going to put spots on this one. So on this butterfly, okay, you can put 7 spots right here onto the wing. After you put the 7 spots on the wing, I would like you to trace them. Okay, so there's 4, 5, 6, 7. So I would like you to trace, oh, there we go again, there's that wonky thing with this, doesn't want me to move it, there we go. All right, so I would like you to trace your 7 spots on the left wing of the butterfly. If you need to, pause the video now and do that and come back when you're done. Okay, so we know all together, and yes, I know they have the answer here, but I would really like to work this out so that we will be able to do that together in the rest of the lesson. Okay, so we know that all together there are 11 dots on the butterfly. So we already know there are 7 here. So what we can do is we can count on with our counters until we get to 11. All right? 8, 9, 10, 11. So how many other dots are on the right wing? 4. Very good. Okay, so you can trace that right now. Pause and come back. Okay, so I still would like to use our part whole. And I know it's been a little while since we've used this, but I would like to do it because we're not always going to have a pretty picture to use dots and things like that on. So when we see the sum or the whole, I have all the numbers here, okay? And remember, I know that we don't always have enough counters to show it in both and everything. So I always like to start with the sum or the total or the whole at the bottom. And right now I have 11 counters in the whole part of my chart. I know that there are 7, so I'm going to put that part into the left side of my chart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I like to count carefully as I move them because you know I'm like that. And because I want to be sure that I have the correct number that I'm saying. So don't rush because that could get you the wrong answer, okay? So just, we know there's 7. Now, I'm going to put this other part that's remaining in the right side, okay? And that way I will know what my missing addend is. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? So we still get the same answer. Now, once again, I know if you looked at the bottom, you might have seen 4 and you know. But again, these are easier numbers, so that's why I'm showing you to count and move and take your time, so that way you're checking yourself. It's called self-checking. And that way you will know that is your missing addend. Okay? So if you need to finish this by tracing the other 4 numbers, pause, and then we'll continue on. Okay, so now we're in the, now we're going to the see and show. And they're pretty much talking about what we've done, but I'm going to read it to you anyway. So if you'd like to, you can trace those numbers, but be sure to listen to me as I go. Use related facts to help you find a missing addend. And here's our helpful hint. To find the missing part, subtract the known part from the whole, which is exactly what we did right now with the part whole. We had 12. In this case, we know that there's 7. We took that away, and the remainder, the missing addend, is 5. So it says right here, so 5 is the missing addend. Okay, let's go to our next page. All right, so this is a page that I would suggest for you. You use your work mat, okay? And again, even if you just do it for the first couple until you get used to it, all right? So I kind of like using the math manipulatives. It's always helpful. And there's something about your brain that when you do something, it goes right up into your brain and helps you work and remember better, okay? I didn't make that up, that's true. So now we're going to use our work mat, or what we made as a work mat, and we're going to find the missing addend. So right here we see that the whole is 13 and one part is 5. So what you need to, this is what you want to find, but you need to think, I know 5 and I have 13. So I'm going to think, what is 13 minus 5? Okay, so let's start with, we have 13, all right, 3, 4, 5, and yes, this is kind of a little bit of a messy way. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now, some of you might even have this, okay? And that's fine. If you have your 13 counters on the table, make sure they're away from your bag of counters so you don't have too many there, okay? Now, we know that there's 13, and we're going to remove 5 of them. So 1, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. How many do we have? Let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, what is that? 8. Okay, so 13 minus 5 equals 8. And that means that 5 plus 8 equals 13. Okay? All right, let's clean this up. And then we are going to go to our next one. And I would like you to try this on your own, pause it, and then come back to see what the solution is. All right, pause now. Okay, so if you are not completely done, pause again and finish. Otherwise, here we have, we knew that 8 is the whole. So down here it said, if you need to know what the missing addend is, you should think about, well, what is 8 minus 5? 8 minus 5 equals 3. So 3 plus 5 equals 8. All right, so now they would like us to explain how to find the missing addend in blank plus 5 equals 14. I would like you to turn to your adult or your helper and explain, how are you going to find that missing addend? Okay, so if you told them you're going to do 14 minus 5, you are correct. And 14 minus 5 equals 9. Okay, so on this page, you are going to complete this on your own. Some of the other problems, 5 through 10, do not have a little part whole map there. but you can use yours and your counters. Take your time and pause and work, and then come back for your solution. Okay, work now. All right, your solutions for number 3 and 4 are here. 5 and 6, pause and solve. And the solutions are, all right, 7 and 8, pause and solve. Here are your answers for 7 and 8. Nine and 10, pause and solve. Here are your solutions. Okay, number 11. I will read this to you and then you can pause it and solve it. Max has 5 shovels and some sand pails at the beach. He has 14 shovels and sand pails in all. That means together, okay? How many sand pails does he have? All right, so it's the same idea, what we've been working on. Pause and solve. Okay, so 14 minus 5 equals 9. And now we're going to do number 12. When I added 2, 7, the sum is 12. What number am I? Okay, so I had 7 of something. I added to it and I got 12. What number? Pause and solve. That's right, the answer is 5. 12 minus 7 equals 5. All right, so here we go finishing up. How do you use subtraction to find a missing addend in an addition problem? All right, so they would like us to explain that. So how do we use subtraction? Okay, so what would we do? Whoop, yeah, I forgot to do that first. All right, here we go. Yep. There we go. Okay. Subtract the addend I know to find the missing number, right? So we take what we know, the information we know, to help us find what we need to discover, okay, or find. All right, so great job, boys and girls. We will go over this again, and as always, see you soon.